She's down under, but she's on top of the world, and she
It's
won't
like your
stop.
energy level just like
Flying
as soon as you
free,
put it on,
no
you're like,
looking back.
You're like, oh.
that is her.
Turning
That
every
is her.
crack
Look at her.
into a map. Hello, beautiful. Welcome to another episode of Likha Love. My name is Kat Provito and I am your host. The word Likha actually comes from Likha, which is create in Tagalog. So today in our episode, we are going to create some love, self-love. In today's episode, we have Tara from Earth. Tara from Earth is a creator, storyteller, and New Earth architect exploring the future of creativity, consciousness, and what it really means to build from who you are instead of who you think you have to be. She guides creators, visionaries, and leaders in collapsing outdated systems and returning to their multidimensional nature as a true source behind everything they create. Through conscious art, play, storytelling, rebellious truths, and multidimensional recalibration, Tara invites creators to move beyond identity and into coherence, allowing their lived expression to become a true reflection of who they are. Hey Tara, thank you for being here today. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited to have you on. I have been following you and following your content, and every time you post something, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I resonate. I totally resonate. And I totally love your vibe. You actually, when I watch your videos, it actually heals my inner child a little bit. My high school self who was like really like wanted to so badly be so funky and punk, and I was huge on the feather earrings, which I still am. I actually still am, but you know, it was just like that side of me that was, you know, too scared to go full out and to fully express. But
Me
you're
too.
the girl that I would have
Aw.
expressed in high school if I, you know, had the courage.
Thank you. Yeah, same here. I mean, I wasn't really this girl in high school, so this is now I get to be her now
Yes.
in my 30s, because you know we can do what we want now. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I
so
love
yeah,
that.
but thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to embody versions of myself I wasn't allowing myself to be. So
Yeah.
and I just play. I just have fun. And it is a lot of inner child. It's just like playing dress up every day. 'Cause
Yes. Why not? Yes. So Tara, I wanted to know, you know, who was Tara before she was Tara from Earth?
Yeah. So before Terra from Earth, I was I was a small town girl. I grew up in Kansas. I grew up on a farm in Kansas. So
Oh.
yeah, so that really shaped kind of this version of myself and kind of who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I look back at that with a lot of just like um gratitude now. But yeah, so I just kind of feel like I was in a world that I didn't quite fit in because it was a small town. I feel like it was kind of a, you know, a place where you follow a script that you're told to play a role. Um but you know, at the same time I was always a dreamer. You know, I just was that kid. I always just had this quiet feeling inside that there was just more out there, that I was meant for more, that the world was so much bigger. And so I was always very perceptive, very quiet, shy. I was always observing, though. That was something that I just always did a lot. I was quiet and I observed everything going on, people, friends, family dynamics, things like that. And but I spent a lot of my time alone and drawing and creating and daydreaming. Really, so I was like kind of alone a lot, and that was just my like upbringing. I had to kind of go inward because my kind of external world wasn't really fulfilling me, or I just didn't quite connect with it. I had trouble focusing in school because my imagination was always just going wild. And
Yeah.
I think just at my core I was always an artist before I just really called myself one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I never really bought into systems. I never really like I checked out in school. I mean, I went to church, you play the role. but I was just mentally checked out like all the time. And I was asking questions more to myself because I didn't feel it was like allowed to ask certain questions. So in a sense, I was this quiet rebel that was kind of like questioning what was happening around me.
Yes.
And so I think all of this, just this type of like kind of this rebellion, feeling like you don't fit into the world that you grew up in, it really kind of pushed me on this path of becoming like a truth seeker, of wanting understanding of the world, and just
Mm-hmm.
really just like wanting, like knowing that there's maybe another way to live. Like I think there was just something that I wanted. I just was like, something's off, right? Just there's something off. And so yeah, that small town narrative like really shaped who I am today. And even though I was like shrinking parts of myself to fit into that role, like I think there was always a part of me that was really wanting to just explode and express and come out. And like I said, it was just like I had to play a role. Like I grew up in a small town. It's all about reputation and status and the
Yes.
perfect family. So I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
dye my hair, like I couldn't really dye
Mm-hmm.
my hair. I couldn't do these things that like was just fighting, to get out. So there's this deep, and when that kind of builds up, you know, some kids acted out. I really didn't act out. I just shut down. Like I really like
Yeah.
shut down. And then I really just, this my world became a lot more quiet, a lot more internal, and that was when I just kind of started trying to find understanding and seeking that truth that I was kind of wanting, and that kind of started the journey into YouTube videos and diving deep and just research on my own, and just wanting to understand the world, human behavior, psychology.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was really into conspiracy theories at a really young age, probably too
Oh
young
wow.
of an age, and overall, just before Terra from Earth, I was still a girl that just was like seeking truth and just believed there was another way to live. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just on the hunt, I guess, to find that, to figure that out. So that was kind of like the beginning. I just always wanted to pave my own path, but I didn't know how, and
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to, yeah, and it just not wanting to have to put myself in a box and be this one version of myself. So um, yeah, growing up in that small town really sculpted kind of who I am now, because if it wasn't for the limiting environment, I wouldn't have seeked. I wouldn't have found
Yes.
more answers. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I guess just putting more, trying to figure out how to find my own truth and then share that with the world, I guess. And um I guess that led me to content creation eventually.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and things like that. And that's when I started Terra from Earth. It really started as an account to put more truth out there. I started it around COVID. I was putting out a lot of stuff. I had a pretty big awakening before COVID. So I was already kind of like, I knew what was happening. And anyways, there was just 2020 was a big awakening uh, time for a lot of people. And I just was like, I think I'm supposed to share. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
supposed to share some stuff I know, or just, question, like let's question. And so that's kind of how my account started back in 2020. And I took breaks here and there, and it's evolved over time. But yeah, I guess sharing just my own experience of understanding is kind of
Yeah.
where what Terra from Earth is kind of all about. And it was part of my upbringing that got me here. So I'm really grateful for it.
I'm quite curious. Since you came from a small town, what's it like with who you are now, the person that you have come out to be? What's it like being around your small town family with who you are now compared to when you were a child? I mean, I know how brave it is to be different, to be, not the person that I was raised to be and becoming my own person. And it
Yeah.
is like very lonely because you can't really talk to your family like you used to. What's it like for you?
Yeah, it was hard in the beginning, because I think when you are on your own journey of self-discovery, you're not very confident yet either. And so I was definitely like seeing like my parents or my family as like, well, they're against me or they don't see me this way. And so, yeah, and it was hard because like the things I was stepping into, I knew was nothing that they would ever really, I don't know, not support, but just kind of they were just systems that were just completely out of their own comfort, right? So it was hard for sure. The first few years were really tricky because you're already wobbly, right? When you're already like, I'm leaving this identity behind, I'm stepping into something new. And that's kind of when the fallout maybe happens too. So like
Mm-hmm.
there were definitely some more fallouts. I took breaks, and I realized like there was shame. I had shame. I'm like that I wasn't this specific person that my parents saw me to be, and those were things I had to work through, and those will reflect in your connections with your parents. And so, but honestly, a lot of it was probably in my head too. Like while they were still supportive, like this is what's interesting is they kind of knew me being a second child, like I kind of was the the more creative child, like we'll put it that way. So they already kind of could put me in a box, which was
Mm-hmm.
fine. And so I was kind of the one that went off path compared to like my sister and stuff. So they could they're like, okay, we could fit her here, we can understand her here. But then I just keep breaking out of the boxes, I think, and that drove them crazy, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of I wouldn't say there's just that kind of silent tension of like, you know, they kind of see you differently, and there's a little bit of a grief there too, because like you're grieving like who they saw you to be, you're grieving this role that you were playing kind of for
Mm-hmm.
them, you know. And so there was a lot of like kind of fallout there, and I wouldn't say anything got too like intense or crazy, but I just kind of took space, and I had to do more inner work on myself to work through those um, just work through the dynamic with my own parents. And but I got better at being able to be open with them. I never shut it off. I always tried to have them be interested or like find a way to meet them. Like I think I was
Mm-hmm.
really good at that. I could kind of be I was like, well, they won't I know they won't get here, but if I can create a little bridge that kind of welcomes them. And I think that's kind of what ended up happening. We just could kind of meet in the middle, and honestly that's great, like that's great for me. So uh we kind of meet in the middle. They may not understand everything that I do, and I know they have their own things probably that I don't, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
they maybe place on me, but overall they've been very supportive. They're like, even though we don't understand it, they have gotten to this point of full unconditional support in my journey. And
Yeah.
it took a while to get there, you know, but now we're there, and it feels really good to have that. But it was very uncomfortable for a while, for sure, when you're stepping into becoming more of you and away from who they think you are, you know, or who they believe you to be.
Yeah, for sure. I know from experience, yeah, how what it's like. And it's but I think having supportive parents despite them not understanding, I think that's one of the biggest blessings, really. And it took me a while to realize that my parents, even though they disagree with um a lot of my beliefs now, like they're still very unconditional with their love. And I
Yes.
think the feeling that I had that they were like against me, that was just my own feeling.
It's usually just us a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
they just love you no matter what. They just want us to thrive, and
Yeah.
they want us to live a good life and love God, but even though it's not,
Mhm.
exactly what they want, because I'm
Yeah.
a preacher's kid, and
Oh
so
wow.
I know what it's like, having to play a role, a, a,
Yeah.
a role
Play
for
the
your
role.
parents.
Yeah, and
And
I think like what my parents and I are like, where I kind of got to was like we're all kind of we're going to the same like place. We're getting to the same result. It's just all of our paths are just different getting there. You know, it's very
mm-hmm,
interesting. It's like in and trusting that. And I remember having that like conversation with my dad one time, and yeah, like it's just true. It's like we're gonna have to branch off. You're gonna have to like let it happen. And it's I think definitely for parents that love you a lot, it's hard for them to let go, and to see you kind of do these things that they have a specific like already a judgment about it, you know. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
she's dyeing her hair, oh no, or she's pulling out tarot cards, you know, like there was a lot of that stuff that definitely I know scared them about me, but
Mm-hmm.
I always tried to be like, I'm okay, you know, like, yes, looks a little wacky from the outside, but yeah, and I like that. I think as long as they can trust us. So I'm very blessed that like I have a good relationship with them and they support me. They're like, we have no idea what you're doing, but
But
I'll
whatever,
take it. Like I
as
will
long as
take
you're
it.
not a drug addict, you're okay.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. It's so funny that like yeah, like I was never a very like rebellious in that external way, you know. I was always just very, so it's always funny, those are things I brought up. I'm like, I'm not doing drugs, I'm not, you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
doing crazy things, you know, but it's been a big part of the journey and I love it, like, and I've been able to just accept all of it and look at it all, and it's and because it's you know, you have to really have those, you have to keep looking at the family dynamic if you're going to do more inner work on yourself and
Mm-hmm.
evolve. And I've done a lot of that work, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
so happy with where I'm at.
And each person in your family, they're a big part of your growth, you know. And I learned this, you know, through my journey, is that each one of them, like I remember like looking up the meaning of their names, you know, like
Mhm.
what is this member of my family teaching me? You know, I obviously came into this family for, you know, to help my expansion. You know, there is
Yeah,
something, whatever
you
is
chose it.
irritating me, whatever is triggering me in this person, there is something there that I'm supposed to learn.
Yeah. Your parents, they're a huge reflection of you and your internal. So, like what we were saying with like it was more it, we put that pressure more on us of like, oh, they're disappointed in me, oh, they think this way about me, and a lot of that honestly was like in my head because those are just the internal, the ways I was seeing myself. I still had some shame about like who I was becoming, shame for getting a bunch of tattoos, like those are
Mm-hmm.
just they reflect, so they're just reflecting my own insecurities, and once I like healed those, it was like, oh, like we're good. And it's so
Yeah.
yeah, definitely looking at your father and your mother in your life, because masculine feminine energies, and yeah, definitely the father aspect is a really big one, especially for women, just because if you don't have that healthy masculine, it can really, yeah, create that kind of distortion in your own life. So trying to really figure out what needs to be worked on in that dynamic, and trying to understand the patterns and behaviors and relationship with your own father and things like that is so important. You have no idea with
Mm.
how, to become more of yourself and to become really secure in who you
Mm-hmm.
are and who you're becoming.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You often talk about decoding reality. What does that mean?
Yeah, so decoding reality, it's basically learning beyond the surface level of life. So it's kind of understanding and pulling back kind of the layers of the patterns, the conditioning, the beliefs, and the energetic dynamics that shape how we experience our reality. So, when we become aware of what is actually driving us, we can stop unconsciously recreating old patterns, and
Mm-hmm.
we can begin creating from a more place of heart led intention. So that's kind of the goal. And so when I decode things or decode, it's really just trying to understand and understand what's behind, what's the driver of this, so that we can hopefully become more conscious, bring it to the surface, so we
Yeah.
can start creating more consciously, right?
I actually love your posts. You're very like brutal when it comes to
I
decoding, and you're very honest. Like you're saying things that a lot of people just wash down, especially about the spiritual community. And you know, because I've definitely gone through the phases where, you know, of the awakening, when you're like, oh, I'm the chosen one, oh, I'm supposed to be this certain person, you know. And then when you get through those phases, you're like, oh my gosh, earth is just supposed to be like being completely authentic and having fun.
absolutely, yeah,
And like,
yeah.
you know, removing all these old patterns and old ways of thinking, because I've had to really deconstruct, everything that I went through, my religious trauma, my old patterns, all the thing, victimhood, all these things that I was holding on to, these identities that doesn't serve this version, the new version of me. Like I'm constantly decoding everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And I think I just try to bring up things that aren't talked about. And yeah, my content's a little taboo, and it's just I can't tell you what it is. It's like this just I'm supposed to say it, and so I just say it. And I think like I said, there's this level of sovereignty that takes just a kind of brutally honest perspective. And even if people don't agree with me, like I try to really just state things from my own place of truth and have people discern it. And because it's really through our opinions and speaking our own truth individually that we're going to figure out what needs to change, what should be better, and things
Hmm.
like that. And I think like there's just I think a little bit of that masculine kind of went away for me in spirituality, and I think it needs to be brought back, this kind of like a little bit of tough love, but it just hasn't been grounded, I feel, in a lot of ways. And I think it's pulling a lot of people off path, and
Hmm.
that's where my passion comes from. It's not because I want to, throw out judgment. It's more of like I know people are going off path, and there's a lot of vulnerable people right now coming up, and
Hmm.
or they just woke up, and
Yeah.
they're looking and searching for those
Hmm.
places. And I think overall, I'm just trying to tell people that it's not outside of you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really, we have to keep going in. It never stops either. I think that's a big part of it. So,
yeah.
um,
I
yeah,
think
it's just
also your videos are really just telling people to be cautious.
and
Just be
cautious. Yes,
careful. Yeah,
be
when
careful.
you're seeking out, for answers and help, like be cautious, use discernment. Like there are a lot of wolves, in sheep's clothing out there, lots of gurus who are self-proclaimed that we have to be careful, be
Yeah,
careful with.
I think in a sense there was kind of a part of spirituality where it made people really open. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but now people are a little bit too open.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm seeing with women, with empaths. They enter these spaces and their fields are just wide open. And now there's this lack of boundaries and lack of your own standards, because
Mhm.
and I think it's just like the pendulum just swings, right? Like in every kind of system out there. And I think spirituality is swung. Everyone's really open, but no one's totally using that firm masculine discernment on, is this safe? Is this aligned? Should I actually do this retreat? Is this in my highest good, in my highest knowing? Or will this pull me off path? And so yeah, ever since I've just done a lot more sovereign work on myself, we just have to use more discernment, even in spiritual spaces. And with the psychological, like with just a lot more spiritual warfare going on, it's really the spiritual collective that's going to be kind of a target.
Mm.
And so I think there is this level of like we have to be even more careful and just be cautious and hold your frequency in these spaces if you choose to go, because it's just going to get a little bit weirder, and it's going to be a little bit more intense, as we
Mhm.
continue. So yeah, I guess it's really that I just want to put a message out there to use discernment and to kind of set boundaries for yourself. And if something feels off, let's talk about it. I think
Yeah, yeah.
I want people to talk, because like I've been feeling this way for a few years, and I was always holding myself back because I was like, oh, I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just this year came, and it's like, I'm just going to say it. I've just had experiences that have been uncomfortable for me. I see things, I witness things. Because of the energy work that I do, I'm around a lot of it. So I just want to speak up about it. I just want to speak from my experience. I think this like hush hush, we need to just let people, I think that's okay to an extent, but also how are we going to change? And I think people do need to take more accountability. And yeah, so that's I really just coming from my own experience. And so that's what I'm here to share. uh because I don't, the more we have people doing that, the more people will start hopefully being more observant of their environments and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
of community itself, because there's a lot, like you said, out there, there's a lot of snake oil, there's a lot of sheep in wolf's clothing, and
Other way.
it,
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
wolf in sheep's clothing. There I go.
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
mean, and I think it's good to also normalize, like, I've done this a lot where I, come into a creator that I love, that I've learned a lot from, and then all of a sudden they post something and you're just like, doesn't sit right. And instead of just being like, okay, just next video, I'm like, no, this person changed. Like, I'm gonna unfollow. Like, this is weird energy. And there's been a couple of those that have hundreds and thousands of followers, and I'm like, this is not right. Like, what you're saying is not right. And I
Yes.
hate that. I hate that because you go to follow this person and thinking that they're helping you a lot, and then all of a sudden they say something that's just like,
Hmm.
ooh,
I mean,
like,
I think, yeah, we're kind of in that phase now where like the colors are coming out, and people, we're getting better at discerning, and I think that's just what's having to happen now. We're having to kind of sort through energy and sort through the frequency, and I do that too. Like if someone feels off in my body, I'm like, ooh, they're saying stuff but maybe not fully embodying it. Like, yeah, like I or if there's something really off, I might comment or I will unfollow. And that's just where we have to be. And it's just about, it's honestly kind of like, it's good spiritual hygiene to do that too. It's
yes,
like,
yes.
it's like clear it out. What is aligned to me if it no longer resonates. And I don't resonate for people either. I've lost followers too. So it's just how it is
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now,
It's
you
kind
know?
of like as a content creator, you try not to look at the numbers because it's gonna go up and down constantly. Every
Yes.
post goes up and down, and it's just like, goodbye to those who don't resonate. Like, I don't want you following me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And we have to trust that too. And that's what I had to do. And I was told by someone a long time ago, they were like, you're going to be talking about some stuff. And I'm like, and back then I was more of a like, I don't know, kind of, I was still in the people pleaser phase. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound like me. And yeah, I mean, they told me I would be talking about some pretty controversial things. And
Yeah.
I started to in 2020, but like, now, and so the last 5 years has really built up my energy to be able to hold that, because a
Mm-hmm.
version of me 5 years ago would have been so sad if someone unfollowed me or like didn't comment or gave me a hate comment or something. But I've done enough internal work where I'm like, okay, like, see ya.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Exactly. That's we can't like take offense because like what the work that we do, like you you are being called to say something and it's gonna make people mad. It is. But you have to, whatever it is that's in your heart that God's pushing you to say, do it. You don't know the impact that it's gonna make to someone else. Who cares about the one who's triggered?
yeah, and it's been, I get more positive than not, which means you're on the right track, I guess,
Yeah,
and a lot of
yeah.
people say thank you for posting about this. No one talks about this. So I get those little hits that I'm like, am I on the right track? Like, is this just crazy? But it's just like when, yeah, like your truth wants to come out, it's, you can't really stop it. And so
Hmm.
I listen to that inner knowing, and try to, and I just act on it. And yeah, like I said, you'll win some, you'll lose some, but if it feels like it's gonna, I focus on the bigger picture, right? That's what we have to do. And
Hmm.
right now it's working up to that. So
Your work that you do is multi-dimensional healing. Can you explain what that is?
yeah, so there's a lot of layers here, but I'll try to like explain it. So when you look at multidimensional healing, it's looking beyond just the emotional, mental, and the physical layers, and it's exploring the deeper architecture of the human system. So it's basically healing the energetic and conscious um, parts of the system, while also helping integrate multidimensional aspects that influence how we experience our reality. So um, as you know, like right now we're in a crazy transition. Um, and our light bodies are actually evolving. That's what started happening around after 2012. We had a big shift. And so also in 2012, we now have access to new frequencies that have been coming in to Earth. So there's certain modalities now that are able to access those frequencies that can help, that are made specifically for our evolving light body template. So because we're in this ascension cycle and our light bodies are evolving, the older kind of modalities such as like Reiki, chakra balancing, anything like that, they're only going to get us so far because those were really made for the 3D light body template. So multidimensional healing is basically activating the deeper intelligence and our original blueprint. Um, so it's going beyond kind of the 3D layers, and it's going outside of that, and it's pulling in the multidimensional aspects of you from not just this lifetime but beyond. So so it's healing the entire energy body. But it's also, what I love about it is it's architecture based. So it's really activating that multidimensional DNA or your spiritual DNA, what scientists called your junk DNA. That's getting activated. So through the healing work I do, it's activating that DNA, which is kind of building and getting you back to your kind of original architecture, human architecture, before this human experience. So it's getting us back to true sovereignty. Yeah. So overall, though, it's healing multiple layers that go beyond just the mental, physical, and emotional layers.
That's amazing. That's so cool, actually, because like I'm still learning a lot of things, and this is, energy work and all that. That's still kind of new to me. And so, what are some things that maybe people might misunderstand when it comes to energy work?
I mean, it's kind of the biggest misunderstanding is that people were never really taught to see themselves as
As
energetic
energy.
being, as
Yeah.
energy. So like I think that's just the hardest thing that I run into. Because we were taught to like look at the effects, to if you see it to believe it, and we weren't really taught to look at the deeper patterns that are creating them. So yeah, we were taught that we were primarily the body, and that everything starts with the physical body, but that's just not true at all. So yeah, that's probably the biggest misunderstanding. And it's just honestly having to, and most people that obviously don't believe in that or whatever, like I don't really come across them very often, of course,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't find me. But that is a really big part of what goes on, is you have to adapt that actual reality of like rewiring our conditioning and expanding just the understanding of how we see ourselves and how healing really works.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's just difficult for people to understand because we weren't taught through life through that
Yeah.
lens. Like we weren't taught through
Yes.
that lens. So and like the like even talking about multidimensional healing, and I was trying to condense it in the best way possible, but it's very, even people are like, what? But it's, they get it or they don't, and that's the work that I specifically do, is either it's a match or it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for those who are more in a more advanced spiritual journey, who are ready to
Mm-hmm.
kind of go to the next level. So it's kind of new, and it's more of an advanced technology that either people will resonate with or they won't.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that I'm able to, talk to you about it and put awareness out there so people know, you know, um, there's a lot of things that people think of just going to the doctor. That's the regular thing that we are taught. But as I have gone through my spiritual healing, I learned that a lot of my physical issues are spiritual, and going deeper into that, the root cause, the spiritual
Yep.
cause of everything, that's what's healing. The actually healing me is
Yep.
actually seeing the spiritual side of all these ailments and, things that's happening to me that I couldn't understand, that no doctor with a prescription could heal me. I came from, I actually lived in Alabama for 17 years, small town Alabama. And over there, the doctors just prescribe like
I
it's
know.
candy. I came back with bottles and bottles of different medications because, they told me I had all these issues. And now I'm in zero because Australia is very strict on their, prescription. They don't get kickbacks like the American doctors do. And but going deep into seeing that side of me that's not the 3D, that I am multidimensional, like
Mhm.
that there's just because everything is still too like new to me. My
Yeah.
healing journey has only been a couple of years.
Okay. Wow.
Because since I had my last baby, that really helped wake me up to really
Mhm.
see things as they are when I removed myself from the toxic environment that was poisoning me, which was
Mm.
Alabama. So my healing journey really did not start happening until I came back. And
Wow.
my parents gave me a safe space to heal, to
That's
be
great.
alone. I spend a lot of time alone.
Mhm.
I spend a lot of time, just looking within, like every day, every
Good.
night
Yeah.
is just like, I ask, you know, God, show me what layer needs to be revealed. Like, and
That's
every
great.
night,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm constantly removing layers and layers of things that is holding me back, things that
Yeah.
is not me.
Yeah.
And so I have so much work to do still. Like to me, like I think it's amazing that you've been doing this work. You've been self-healing and searching for the truth for so long. How old are you?
I'm 35.
35. See, I was at 35, I was still like lost. I was still lost, I started seeing like angel numbers at 35, and that's when like it
Yeah.
started showing up. Like things started shifting a little bit at that time, and I was like, what is happening? And really,
Yeah.
that was the start of like synchronicities in my life.
You were getting some signs. Yeah.
I was
That's
getting
great.
signs.
Everyone's
And
on
now,
their own path. Yeah. Everyone's on their
yeah,
own journey and timing. And yeah, it's kind of that never ending, but it just is never ending. And I'm still, I do the same thing as you, and I've been on this journey for a while, but I'm alone a lot. I do that inner work. I try to get back to like um just who I am. And I ask every day too. I ask once a week. I feel like I'm a new person once a week, but I
yeah,
ask pretty much almost every day. Show me. Okay,
yeah,
show me. Any trigger I have, any off feeling in my
yeah,
body, I go, okay, I gotta look at it. And
yeah.
I do, and I really like it's not an easy little fluffy journey, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of hard work, and it will be
Yeah,
like and I'm not ever close to done. I just
yeah.
the
We
energy
won't be.
yeah, we won't be. Yeah,
No.
and that's the beauty of it. So we have to try to like right. It's like kind of find this balance of this full acceptance that like we're just constantly going to be in transformation and being able to hold ourselves through that transformation, and it's really that holding the safety, creating more safety in the body and the system that is really important, and that's like part of why I love the work that I do, because multidimensional healing actually helps you build a safer energetic container so that you can
Mm-hmm.
those aspects of you can start to land and then be hopefully expressed. So what I love about it is you are going to begin integrating those aspects of yourself, and you can just hold them in safety. You can just be
Mm-hmm.
able to become so safe within yourself that all these aspects of you, even the ones you don't quite understand yet, they can just have somewhere safe to land, and you can just
Yeah.
hold them. And that's like truly like that's so fulfilling to me, is becoming so safe in oneself. And that does take a lot of self lot of self-regulation and work. But that's a part of the reason why I love the work I do, is because it's helping people build that baseline. It's about baseline.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really about managing symptoms. We've been taught so wrong, like, prescriptions and things like that. It's just managing symptoms. And even spirituality, there's some managing of symptoms. Like, you can go get an energy session, and even sometimes a massage, it's not always getting to the root of things. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about, where's the root? Let's get to the root,
Yeah.
and let's shift that. If you change your baseline, then you shift your reality. So that's kind of something that I've been working on through the work that I do, and helping people, coach them on how to create a safe baseline for yourself, so that you can sustain healing
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hold, and then be able to hold higher light and higher frequencies that are coming in. So yeah, I agree with you.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like I love learning about all these things, especially, now that I don't know, I feel like I'm learning more and more, and I'm getting to that level of, okay, I need to do this, where I've done this. Now it's time to go do this. I've done like quantum healing and timeline therapy, all these things that have helped me. And I just love learning about new things that I could do next, that, because I seriously, I did years of managing my symptoms through prescriptions. And
Yeah,
it's taking a lot for me to heal from that.
yeah,
From
it takes a while, and that's where most, yeah, and I understand. That's just where a lot of people are at. Well, whenever you want it, you can book a session with me, because I'm really interested in how you, um, yeah, just how it would feel for
Yes,
you.
girl. And I'm going to link you so everybody knows who to go to. And I'm gonna make sure that your
Oh,
information
cool,
is out there, and
cool, thank you. Yeah,
yeah, no
thanks. You too.
problem. There's so many questions that I'm just like, oh, like kind of overloaded. I feel like we need to maybe do like a part two or
Oh,
something.
totally. I think we would have we yeah, I think our flow is really great. So I'm happy to
Yeah.
do a part two if we don't get through everything, because I think there's these topics we can always go deeper on.
It's a
So,
lot. I feel like
and
it's a
it's just
lot.
a lot. Yeah, for an hour, we're talking about these grand,
Yeah,
topics.
it's a lot, and I know, like, the community that I'm surrounded with, they're not going to grasp whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like the people that I've grown up with, and it's
Yes.
really, and I think that's what makes it a little bit lonely, is,
Yes.
not having someone to discuss things like this with. And and
Yeah. Well, that's what's so great about, like, social media, because I'm the same. I mean, I'm someone that has, like, few quality friends that I can talk about some stuff with, but no one else. And I think that's why social media is so great, and why people doing podcasts, and you who's so curious and just want to learn, and, like, giving me, like, which I'm grateful, like, a place to be able to talk about things that I enjoy. So it's cool that, like, social media was made for us. Like, let's just be
yeah, yeah,
real.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
we are the future of social media. So yeah,
Yes,
we're in
and I
this
love
together.
it. Yeah, I love that, I think the new set of like content creators like us, it's not about like trends, it's not about, what's in, but it's about truth,
Mhm.
it's things that actually people need to hear, and people need to see.
Yeah.
And that's why I started this podcast, is really I wanted people to start like waking up to themselves, right? Like really start
Yeah.
questioning their own life, their like programming, like to snap out of autopilot, and
Right.
to see, wait,
Disrupt.
we are more than this avatar.
So much more. Yeah, yeah, we're here to disrupt. Like, that's how we have to kind of see it, and that is really feminine energy. Is It's a disruptor. It is here to kind of, yeah, like, shake things up. And yeah,
Yeah.
and I know
And
that's what we're here to do, and it can be such a lonely path, but, like, we're here together too, like, we're all connected. It's just
yeah.
yeah.
And I love like that, us being out there and just being so brave and doing the brave thing, being multidimensional. Like, you're not just just a feminine girl. Like, you literally can be anything you want. And I love how you talk about that in feminine, like
Yes.
about feminine energy is, you know, the what's being put out there that's kind of, you know, keeping us still in a box. Like, we are not
Mhm.
meant to be in a box. Like, we can be whatever we want, you know.
Yeah.
We don't have to be a certain category. We're here to be everything,
Everything.
experience
Mhm.
everything. You know, you
Yeah.
can be masculine, you can be creative, you can, you know, be silly, you know, you can be whimsy. Like,
That's
literally, we're here
exactly.
to experience it all and just be all, and not just be like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
just a corporate girly, I'm a mom, and like,
Right. We were conditioned with this, like, we have to choose one identity, you know, to be.
mm-hmm,
And we're entering a phase now where, like, we are embodying all these aspects of us. And for a lot of creators, it's very overwhelming. And I actually help creators try to uh, give them a container and build a system that can actually help
mm-hmm,
them, because we're not just this, we're not just this, and we're not what we do. Like, people think that, like, oh, I am this. No, it's something you do. Like, you are the creator, you know. Um, accounting is just what you do, you know, or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know. And so, like, it's really this kind of rewiring, but yeah, creating safety within yourself to be able to hold and embody all aspects of you. And I think that was my biggest insecurity, was like, what version am I going to be on social media? You have to kind of stick to one to build trust. And then I just said, screw that. Like, I'm here to
no,
be.
yeah,
I wake up every day feeling a different way. Like you said, I lean more masculine. I make silly videos online. Some days I'm really feisty and I want to,
yeah,
you know, and it's like, that is feminine energy to me. You know, it may not look like it to others. And we all have our own unique feminine energy and signal, you know, that is uniquely yours. And it's up to you to really connect with what that is for you. So, she's a walking contradiction, and it's just, we have to own that, like, just owning all those expression of who we are and allowing us to embody all those expressions of who we are unapologetically. And
yes,
and just not rejecting any part of yourself and just holding that. And yeah, so I'm been working on that as well. And I think we're coming up on that. And so I like to, I want to shift, I want to shake things up. I'm like, the feminine isn't this, it's not this. Yes, it's what she is to you, but, like, don't put her in a box either. Like, because
mm-hmm,
once you put her in a box, then you're limiting her, and you're limiting
yeah,
actually her
yeah.
role, which is to create destruction. Because once you think something's nice and pretty and built, boom, she's going to destroy it. So it's like, you might as well get comfortable with the uncomfortable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. I That's deep, a very passionate topic of mine. I love to talk about, because it's very real for me. Because I was always someone that felt like I had to, like, I was like pushing down these versions of myself that were
Yes,
trying to
yes.
come through, and now I can hold them all. I'm not like, I do my best to let them express, but,
Mm-hmm.
like, I can at least hold them and say, okay, I see you, I love you, I'm working on expressing you soon, but right
Yeah,
now, like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm in this like stage in my life where the version of me who wants to express the childhood traumas that you know, no one wants to really hear, like when it comes to, you know, my growing up in the Christian faith, you
Hmm.
know, the version of me who has been wanting to talk about it, right? Like, that has come out, and it is such a brave thing to do,
So
especially
brave.
when everybody in your, you know, old community is in the Christian faith. But I feel like it is something, as someone who, you know, is a preacher's kid, and I've also been, you know, a preacher's wife, you know, I just,
It's very close, yeah.
it's like, that's my experience, and I know the behind the scenes of the church, okay? And I feel like, because of my knowledge, because of my experience, I know that it is my duty to say things that no one wants to talk about, and
Yep.
no one wants to see. No one wants to open their eyes to what's happening, you know, like what is actually
Yeah. Yeah.
happening in the religion. And so, yeah, I'm in that stage where, I'm just like working
Well,
on
yeah.
healing that version of me and telling her it's okay. You can say it.
Yeah, yeah, and just telling yourself like you are safe to say those things, and I get it. I've been there too, in a lot of different ways, but it takes courage to be a disruptor, because
Hmm.
it's our biggest fear usually looking us and to say that thing, but usually our biggest fear is kind of that going to make the biggest impact, and it's supposed to be said. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's exactly what you're doing is you are the disruptor, but I think you're going to be able to hold it in a way that like doesn't come across as like offending or like things
Mm,
like that. Like there's a specific heart, right? It takes to be a disruptor, to be able to translate these very taboo things to community, to people, to social media. You know, it takes heart too, right?
yeah.
And I see that with you though. I really see that. It's like your heart's gonna speak louder. So like, when you are speaking your truth. I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, yeah. I can feel that's a big part of like why you're here. But yeah, that's that
Yeah, it is
yeah.
a huge part, the whole self-love movement. Like, I'm all about it because that's what changed my life. Like, all the
Yeah.
things that I didn't know growing up, I wish I knew, all the things that kept me small. And I'm like, and since transforming my life, I'm like, I gotta talk about this. Like, people can do it too. This is not something I need to keep within me. Like, this is my calling.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And I love it. And you're doing it. Like, and it's looking at how we're doing it each day and how we're brave each day and the courage, like just the small actions we take each day. Like sometimes that we can take it for granted once we've been doing something, but like getting on like doing a podcast, like that's
That's
something
so scary. It's
it's
so
very
brave.
scary. So it's like, like we have to see the wins, remember to celebrate all the wins that and how
Hmm.
far we've really come. And yeah, like and there's still things and fears, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Hmm.
like it's just never ending. But like looking at the wins and taking those smallest actions and looking at the proof, that's always like a big
Yeah,
thing with
yeah.
me is what is the proof? It's the tiniest proof. And like be grateful for the proof, because that's proof that you are becoming, that version of you, that new version of yourself. So
Yes.
yeah.
So your work, other than multidimensional healing, do you coach content creators? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I do one-on-one coaching. So I do help creators. So that's kind of one of my biggest I help conscious creators with their whatever they're here to express. I kind of create, so I do one-on-one coaching to help them. I also give them the assets. So before I was like doing anything like this, I was a graphic designer for a long time. I was in marketing. So all those tools, of course, they come with you. And
Mm-hmm.
I just am like repackaging them now. And I'm like, I really want to help others who are stepping into their voice, their truth, and they don't know where to start, they don't know where to begin, and I can help them. So I do
Yeah.
one-on-one creator coaching. I help kind of work through like where there's a block, or if you have a brand and you can't quite, like I try to really bridge the gap between you and your brand or your business. Like where are their issues, where are their fear, where are their blocks, where are you like feeling like you're in a freeze mode. So I do a lot of intuitive work that goes into that to help you with your personal brand or your business. And then I also do, yeah, like future self alignment coaching, more for those who are wanting to step more into their sovereignty. That is coaching that I do for clients that do a lot of energy work. You're upgrading kind of your operating system. So it with like an upgraded system has to come new tools. So I teach them how to protect themselves. I give better spiritual hygiene for those who are just ready to go to the next level on their spiritual path. I also offer coaching for that as well, and how to connect with your future self. And yeah, so that's all really fun to me. Those are like kind of my passions. But I
Mm-hmm.
guess the overarching everything is just helping the creator, empower the creator to really be able to step into whatever you're here to do with confidence and ownership. So that's what I love to do. That's what I'm here to do. And I have all my little little tools and my little talents and
Yeah.
gifts, skills, and that I use. Those are just byproducts of me. But yeah, so I have a wide range of things that I offer, but that's where my passion lies, is
Mm-hmm.
helping the creators, step
Yeah.
into, yeah, who they're here to be.
So, what is one advice that you could give a creator who is afraid to speak their truth?
Afraid to speak their truth. So yeah, I think right away it's like, are you talking like on content creation, or are you talking for
Like
like
to out
speaking a video,
there
or just in
when it
general,
comes
like,
to them going online as a
okay,
content creator who's afraid to,
gotcha,
you
okay,
know, be out
gotcha.
there and speak their truth.
Um, yeah, I think right away, like some people would say, "Oh, just do it," and it's like that's not always the best answer, because um, it's really your nervous system that
Mm,
has to get used to like seeing yourself. It has to get used to visibility. At the end of the day, your nervous system has to get used to visibility, and that even is visibility with yourself. So um, becoming so it's not as easy just going for it, and that's not the best way to do it. So it's just training your system to hold visibility is the best step. And so what I would recommend to people is to just start really small, and this is something that I did, was just start recording yourself, like in your own apartment or your home or whatever, like a place where you feel really comfortable, and just start talking. Or maybe if you're in your
mm-hmm.
car and you have a hot take, like record yourself. And I know it seems kind of weird, but that's how I started, because I think I knew I was supposed to like make content and post it, but I wasn't ready yet. But I just
Yeah.
I practiced, but also I was able to see myself. I got to learn my voice. Had to get comfortable with seeing myself on the camera. Like that's honestly a big part of it too, is like there's some like, and I had to go work through a lot of insecurities just like
Mm-hmm.
looking on myself online. So yeah, that's actually like something I recommend. I was doing tarot videos, like I would just record myself and I would just like do videos. And one day I was like, my intention was one day I'll post one day I'll post one, but it doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be today. And then there was just one day that like I built that muscle, I built enough safety in my
Mm-hmm.
system, and I posted a video. And that's kind of how it happened. So it's getting comfortable with you,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's like the most important part, is just getting comfortable with you, and of course looking deeper at what your own truth is. And yeah, but and feeling it's confidence too, right? Like I think
Yeah.
to be able to really hold your truth, you have to hold it with conviction. There's a level there, and it just that means you have to kind of do that inner work a little bit to
Mm-hmm.
build it up, build the confidence up. But then after you kind of practice a bit, that's what happened to me. And you'll start small, but it's always um I've been transforming over time, and I'm sure that's familiar with, or the similar, like with you maybe too. Like it's you feel like you start as somebody, and you look at your old videos from like a year ago, and you're like, wow, who is she?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
uh you're going to evolve over time. And
Yeah.
so you don't it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to look perfect, and you don't so it's just trusting yourself in the transformation of you,
Yeah.
um and just owning, and then just owning your truth, owning it.
Yeah.
And once you own it and create that safety in the system, hit post. And then I tell people, like, you don't even have to post it to where people will see you yet, or like you don't have to post it to your Facebook friends and all all the world to see. You can create other accounts. You don't have to, like, there's kind of ways you can start playing online without
Yeah.
having to,
Yeah.
like, your whole family's going to see you
You can
posting,
make it, faceless, I
Yeah,
don't
you can
know.
do
You can just use your
faceless.
voice and
I
put
told
like graphics.
there's so many, like, just be creative and to start small. Like I told my sister, like, she also has a lot of like religious trauma, and she writes a lot. And I'm like, oh, if you just start an anonymous account and get on Canva, do some writings and
Yeah.
posts, and it gives your way to express without the pressure of who's going to see this, who's going to
Mm-hmm.
judge me. And over time you will build that safe connection with social media, because yeah, social media is probably the biggest mirror we have.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
almost bigger than real mirrors. It's like it's intense. But
Yeah.
if you're feeling that call, listen to it, and then just
Yeah.
start. start practicing and
I feel
get
like social media fast tracks our healing, our, our fear of
Yep.
being seen, everything that, we're afraid of, putting it out there really fast tracks
That's why
getting
it's
us
here.
to where we need to be.
It's accelerating the conscious journey for sure. So
I
everything would
remember,
be a lot slower.
yes, I remember like when I first started my new Instagram account, because like I hated Instagram forever. And I was like, this time, no, I'm going to start fresh. This is a new version of me. This is going to be, at first, I was like, this Instagram is just going to be for my healing. This is like love letters to myself, whatever. And I would post like little videos, like what healed my inner child. Like my very first video is, a video of me saying, I
Yeah.
can't dance. And my higher self saying, but you can. And then little girl saying, how? You just dance. And I remember I like posted this video of me dancing. Like, this is like brave, okay? Like, for my
Yeah.
whole life, I'm too scared to show parts of me. And I'm there like just dancing. And I'm crying as I'm looking at this video that I just made,
Yes.
and actually probably the first 100 videos that I posted, it's just like, because it was such a big deal. Every
Mm-hmm.
single post was me putting myself out there, like parts of me that needed to be seen so badly, that I was so afraid of for the last, 30 years, that I didn't want, I was too scared to be, I was too scared to share. And I just started sharing like all these videos, and I'm just like,
So cool.
crying because of
Yeah.
just the relief and the love that and that I'm giving
Yeah.
myself, seeing myself this way, and like saying, you are doing such a good job, like
Yes.
seeing my growth. I was just like so proud of
It's
myself.
so rewarding when you have that. I think I had one of those like last week. Like I still get the whole like, yes, like
Yeah.
I pushed my edge a little because I was scared. I had fear, but
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
did it. I posted it anyways. And there's just that.
Yeah.
And now it's cool looking at you because you make all these shitty videos and you would
Yeah.
never be, but I like hearing your story now because and that's you becoming safe within
Mhm.
yourself to now
That's exactly
post.
it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And I've become like this person where, because I used to be such a people pleaser, so scared about what people thought about me. And I didn't, like when I was in Alabama, like everybody's country, and and I was like so scared to dress different because I already looked different. And so I was just trying to fit in so bad, and there was no way I was going to freaking fit in there. But
No, yeah, that
yeah,
Alabama's hard. I thought Kansas was hard, but
no,
Alabama could be
Alabama is
worse.
like
That's
Alabama is
worse.
like a whole nother world anyway. But coming out of that, and then, releasing the people pleaser side of me, I was like, has been the best feeling. Like I'm more
Yes.
myself because I've given myself permission to
Permission.
just be,
Just be.
whatever I want, whatever I like even, wearing red. We were talking about wearing red before the podcast started, and wearing leopard print. I was like, I had such a feeling towards it. Like, I'm like, I could never. I could never wear that. I could never, like, I just, there was so much resistance in the color red and in leopard print. And I slowly started liking leopard print, like a few years ago. But forever, I was like, ugh, there was just something about it. And now I freaking love it. Like, this is like
Yeah,
a powerful pattern for me. Like, and learning to wear red, like, I feel it unlocked a version of me that
it
is so
does. Yeah.
confident. Even things like chopping my hair. I thought I had long hair my whole life. And I was just so afraid. I don't know. I was just so afraid of trying new things, but it's the
Yes.
trying of new things that really unlock versions of me
It
that I
unlocks.
freaking
Yeah.
love. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
being brave to do a shimmy, at first it was just so silly, and now, like, it it brought out confidence in me that I thought, I would never have. And
Yeah.
I want people to be out there who are watching my videos to feel like encouraged
Yeah.
and brave enough to do the same, especially seeing me from, 2 years ago, what I look like, how I felt, like even like the posts that I had posted in my old accounts is so cringe. I'm like, man, I was just like so depressed, and I just had no confidence, and I'm just putting out these like trendy like videos, like doing like what do you call it when you're just like mouthing whatever the
Oh,
sound
like
is,
lip syncing. Okay.
lip syncing, me
Yeah.
thinking that, to me that was brave, but it was like me holding back so
Is this? Yeah.
much. And I can see it, the versions of me. I'm like, girl, why are you, like, it's
Yeah.
okay. Look where you are now. Like, you don't
I
have to be
know.
afraid to be, to take up space.
Take up space. Yeah, and try on new identities and have
Yeah,
fun. And
try
that's why we're here.
colors.
That's why we're here. We're here to
Exactly.
express and colors. Yeah, it's funny. One of my very first videos that I ever posted was on colors and like how we need to experiment more with colors. And like
Mm-hmm.
I remember I never really liked to use. Funny, yellow was never like color, and I remember wearing yellow a lot during a phase, and I just started playing with color because color really brings out honestly these energetic aspects of you. And that's exactly what like red does. Red is a very intense it's kind of a feminine, it's just very bold. And so yeah, either you
Mm-hmm.
love red or people don't like it. But I did this, I mean, my hair is pretty much red now, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was like stepping into that and owning that. And then um it's just that you're on the edge of a new identity, when
Mm-hmm.
you have that resistance there. But then once you step into it, you're like, oh, okay, wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
that feels good. That was a version of me that needed to come through, and that's what I do. Yeah,
Yes.
and I think we are putting out that message and playing with your fashion and like there's no rules. Like everyone thinks
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
rule,
Yeah.
and there's like the color, and they are kind of fun to watch. Those like color ladies, they put the colors on you to
Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
see what
See what
season you are.
suits you.
They are
Yeah.
cool to watch, and you can see what actually looks good. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm like, I wonder what mine is. But then I'm like,
Who
I want to wear,
cares?
I want to
Whatever
wear,
makes you
yeah. So it's like there's no
feel
rules, and
confident.
I really want to put that out to women. It's like there's no rules. Experiment
Yeah.
and play, and like just have fun, like and that's what's so healing, and that's what's been healing for me. I really
Mm-hmm.
couldn't embody this version of me in high school or even in college because I also was like just holding myself back.
Yeah.
And so now I just have fun, and I'll be probably doing this, for the rest of my life, wearing leopard print, wearing feathered earrings and doing my makeup.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
it's just a part of this human experience. Like, why not do it? Like just do it,
Yeah.
you know?
I love seeing videos of like these, 80-year-old women who are just like
Yes.
colorful, so full of life. They wear whatever they want. They're
Yep.
a walking color palette. Like but they're when they share their story, they're like, you're doing it for you. Like you want to eat, like your life is short. Just have
Yes.
fun. It's literally, we're here to just have fun.
Yeah, and you don't need an occasion. Like that's the thing. You don't need
Exactly.
a reason to do it. Like just do it
You
for
are the
yourself.
occasion.
Because
You
like
are the occasion.
you are the occasion. Yeah, like just doing like sometimes when I don't even leave my apartment, but I'll do my makeup and I'll dress up, and
Mm-hmm.
then I maybe film. Then I feel more confident to like I'll film a
Yeah.
TikTok or something. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it just boosts your energy. It is like
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely magic. It's magic
Yes.
to put on clothes and to mix up what you wear and not follow rules. Like I have a very feminine side of outfits, and then I lean to like a masculine side. I love punk. I love goth,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I also love like
Yeah. I
kind
love
of
everything. I love it.
looking like
Yeah.
a fairy, one day.
Yeah.
So it's just we are multidimensional, and it's
Mm-hmm.
being able to become so safe within yourself to hold all those aspects of you. And
Yeah.
so I love seeing your content, and your outfits are always amazing. And I
Thank
try to
you.
also I've been wanting to put more out of like I usually take a lot of videos of my outfits. I just don't always share them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I should start sharing them again. Because
Yeah,
yeah, it
because
feels
like
good, and
you
I want to
said,
look back.
yeah,
I also
yeah.
want to
Like
look
I love
back and
looking back. Yeah,
that's what
looking
I mean.
back
I
at your
want to look
stuff.
back like 20 years from now and be like, yes, she did that. You
Yes.
know, like I want to look back, and I look back at myself 5 years ago that was starting to like dye.
Hmm.
She dyed her hair orange, you know. So like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, look at that outfit. That's cute. Like good for
Yeah.
her. And I want to look like I want to look back with just like feeling so proud of
So
myself.
proud, yes. And I do that too, like just old things that I see, I see the progress and I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, you have no idea that one step that you did has taken you over, and this step. I had someone tell me that to stop wearing leopard print because it makes me look old. And I was just like kind of hurt because it was someone that I loved who said it. But it didn't stop me, right? I was like,
Yeah. Good. Old.
like that's not nice. And
That's so
actually it makes
funny.
me feel powerful. So you know what I did? I started wearing even more leopard
Good,
print.
as you should. Yeah, love that. Yeah, leopard print's always been in my wardrobe for the last few years, and I get like people in my life to like start wearing it when I am
Yeah.
around, and I really resonate with like jaguar energy, like just the
Mhm.
like the boldness of cat and I'm very connected to cats too, so
Mhm.
I just like love leopard print and it does something to you when you wear it. It's like no one, you're
Yeah.
untouchable. You are
Yeah.
untouchable that day.
Yeah.
Like no one, everyone knows not to mess with the girl in
Yes,
leopard print. You know,
exactly. It's like your energy level just like as soon as you put it on you're like, "Oh yeah.
you're like,
th-
oh,
that is her. That is her. Look at her." Like
she's
I do that. I when I like wear leopard print, I instantly like it's like power.
oh, it
Power.
is.
I put on and I'm like, yes, girl, like you look good. Even
It's a hundred
lipstick. Oh, when
percent.
I put lipstick on, I'm like, ooh, hello.
Yeah,
So
these little things. It's really the details though in life that we have to like start looking at more and being like, yeah. So I agree. Lipstick,
just don't be
earrings, like
afraid.
yeah.
Don't be afraid. Just do it. Do it. Freaking flower on my neck. Like who would have thought
Oh,
2
it's
years
so
ago?
cute. By the way, I'm obsessed with that, and that
I'd be like,
matches.
it matches my painting.
Yeah. Oh,
Because my
cute.
painting, this is a printout, but my painting actually, I started it on her, and then I had leftovers of the material, and I was like,
Oh,
I should make one for me too.
no, I love it. I actually like you're inspiring me. I have one necklace that has a little black flower, but I kind
Yeah,
of I want a big one now. So,
yeah. Well, I
thank
showed
your
this actually.
fate setter.
I went to a party and I showed this to a girl before we went to the party. This lady, she's probably 70 something. And so it inspired her. And we showed up at the party. She had hers that she crocheted. She just like
Oh,
handmade
wow.
and put it on. And I was like, "Oh, that is so cool." Like she did more
That's
effort. Mine is just like gluing things together, but she actually made her flower.
that's
And
cool. And people would probably buy those like that. I would buy one right
yeah, like I
away.
was so impressed. But I think, us being bold, like me showing her that, it gave her the inspiration to do it
Yeah, we are kind of
and to
permission
wear it.
slips. We're like
Yeah,
permission
exactly.
slips. Like,
And
and
I
that's
think
all we are.
yeah, we are like putting ourselves out there on social media and letting other women know it's okay. Like
Mhm.
you can step into that bold version of you. Like who cares what people think? And I think that's the big part for me is not asking for permission, not asking for opinions. I stopped asking people, "Oh, what do you think?" or like you
Yeah,
think
no
like
one.
I don't ask for advice
Me
anymore
neither.
when it comes
Me
to
neither.
like because you're gonna get the opinion of someone else's insecurity,
Right.
and I don't want that. Like I don't want someone
Yeah,
telling
like
me, "Oh, but it kind of makes you look old." Like I
which
don't want to hear that.
that's a very ridiculous thing to say. He must have had some experience with some like
Oh, it was a
older crazy
girl. It was a
aunt. Like I
girl.
was say it had to be a woman in his life that he has issues with still. I would have been like, you maybe need to work on that. I'm sorry my leopard print is reflecting some shame for you.
Yeah, I want women to start really, just forget what others, like stop asking for people's opinions and asking them it's okay. If I can wear this, or if I can be this, if I can cut my hair, if I can, like, just do it. Just do it. And
Yeah,
then
just
see from there.
it's way more rewarding when you just choose and you just say yes, like
Mm-hmm.
that just always is better. I don't think I have either asked anybody for any advice or any opinion. I mean, little things, but like
Little things, but
especially my
yeah,
outfits and stuff, like I'm not gonna ask anybody, like, because what do they know what's best for me, and
exactly.
all those things. So I agree. Just do it.
Just be yourself. So, one last question before we go. If your younger self was watching you today and listening to you today, what message would you have for her?
Oh yeah. So probably like that you don't have to be confused, kind of like going back to what we just talked about, but you don't have to be confused about like which version of yourself you're supposed to become. Like
Hmm.
that is the biggest thing because they're all you. Like they're all you. Like
Hmm.
every time you get a buzz, a ping, a signal, or you say something like, or you want to dress a certain way, like you don't have to choose one identity, one path, one way of expressing yourself and then stay there forever, And I think that was something I felt like the conditioning tells you have to do. So but just knowing that there are different parts of you, different versions of you, there are going to be different things that you're drawn towards. They're all expressions of you, they're all you.
Hmm.
And just encouraging her to explore that fully, which she is, which I love. And
Yeah.
so but giving your permission to change or to evolve, to express different sides of who you are without needing to justify it or make yourself fit into one box, because that's
Hmm.
something that, yeah, we just grew up with, like you have to choose this, you have to be this identity, you have to have this job, but we are not here to become one specific version of ourselves. We are here to embody all of who we are. So that's definitely what I would say, because that was definitely a big insecurity of mine growing up.
Hmm. I think the one thing that, when it comes to my 11-year-old, like, she has no idea how lucky she is to have me as her mom. She expresses herself in so many
I love
ways,
that. Yeah,
She
well,
her
you're
wardrobe, her wardrobe is my wardrobe too. Like, we can share our wardrobe
that's so
now, because now that she's
great.
bigger. But some days she's kawaii, and I mean, she goes full on, like full on, not just like a kawaii shirt. Like, she's got the leg warmers. We fix her hair up like
Love
how
it.
she wants it. And then she's also a country girl. She's in Alabama right now. She has her horse. She's got her boots. She
Mm.
embodies that. And some days, like, she just wants. She has all these uh different versions of her that she gets to experience. And,
Yes.
like, I wish I had that at her age. Like,
Yeah.
I was just trying to, like, I didn't have any style at her age, but, and I definitely did not have the clothes that she had, but also the bravery that she has to be
That's
able
great.
to feel safe, to look different, you
And that's
know?
even that's
Yeah.
you too. You're creating that safe container for her to be
Yeah.
able to do that. So now she's kind of this little mirror of you, and she is you in a
Yeah.
sense where you're like, oh, I gotta watch myself grow up again. Like that's
Yeah.
really kind of what kids are here to do, is they're little
Yes,
mini
that it,
versions of
it really
us.
is. It
And
really
that's
is. And
that's
I see
really
that.
really cool. So you're
Yeah.
shifting, you're changing everything, you're changing the whole
Yeah.
pattern and the whole
Mhm.
cycle. And yeah,
Yeah.
same here. Like the only time I wore what I want, which was really funny, would be before like a program, and my mom was never home because she was a coach and a teacher for a while, and there'd be times I just put on whatever I wanted. And my dad didn't,
Yeah.
like, sometimes my dad didn't know color coordination, and I'd wear like a bright purple sweater with like red. Like I wore something crazy, and the only time she noticed it was because she watched the
The
video that my
video.
dad took of me, and she's like, "What are you wearing?" And I think honestly, her kind of getting after me though for just like I just chose
Mm.
what I thought looked cool, just a kid, and it's not like she yelled or anything, but it was just she kind of like, I think I did feel like, ooh, like something was wrong with how I
Yeah,
expressed
yeah,
myself. And
yeah.
it sucks
Mhm.
that like as children, just that one thing will really like shut us down.
Yeah, yeah.
But we've talked about it. We laugh about it now. But yeah, I never got to really do that, a lot. I did maybe up until a certain age, and then it was just all underneath.
Yeah.
Okay, what does everyone? It was small town, so you kind of just had to
Yeah.
like blend in a little. And I'm never gonna blend in. Like that is my fear, is to blend in. Like
Yeah.
I think that was my like nightmare of like blending in with people or community. And I'm like,
Mhm.
anything anyone else is doing, I'm gonna do the opposite. Like that's just
Yes, yes.
how I've
Mhm.
been, and I'm grateful that I've been able to step more into that as I get older. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure your inner child is just like your younger self is just so proud of you and who
Yeah.
you've become and what you're doing, like how freaking brave you are, how you just stepped into this version of yourself that's going to speak the truth, whether or not it's going to hurt some feelings. And I
Yeah.
love that. And I
Thank
love
you.
seeing your content because it helps me, it pushes me to, to do the brave thing. Be the
Mm.
brave girl. Say the
Thank
thing.
you. Well, you're
Say the
brave.
dang
Like
thing.
you are brave though. Like and like I think what you're doing is great too. And so your inner child is also just as happy with you because we're both doing our thing and like we're
Mhm.
disruptors and like owning that is like what I really
Yeah.
want to just share. And it doesn't mean we're not, yeah, we're still coming from the heart, right? but
Mhm.
but things when change needs to happen, someone's got to do it, so we've got to start putting little things out there, for other people. So yeah, I love what
Yes.
you're doing too, so thank you so much for
Oh, I'm
even
so
having me on. Like
glad that
I'm
yeah.
honored that you wanted to have me on your podcast, and I'm happy to come back. Or I
Yeah.
actually started mine
Yes,
too,
for
so I'd
sure.
love to have you on
Yes,
mine because
yes.
I want to hear
I
more. There's a lot here that I think like would be fun to dive into, and I feel
mhm.
we have a good kind of flow. So yeah,
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. So much.
always
I'm
yes,
just so glad that we were aligned and I just
yeah,
like it's just been awesome. It's so nice to be able to like meet more people that I align with, especially when you feel lonely and like no one knows what you're thinking or no one understands what you're going through. But
yeah,
then you meet people, and that's why I love, there's good and bad about social media, but the good has been my spiritual journey. I've been able to
yes,
meet people that otherwise I wouldn't have.
yeah.
So,
And it's because we're
yeah.
taking chances on ourselves,
Yeah.
and yeah, I agree. I'm so glad we got to connect, and it feels there's an alignment there and maybe some cool future stuff. So I'm really excited
Oh
to
yeah, yeah.
explore
So like
that.
Texas is actually, I love Texas. I've been there, and my daughter actually was just there like 3 weeks ago, and her dad has obsessed with Texas and wants to move there, and I'm like, please do, because I don't ever want to move back. Like I don't ever want to go visit Alabama. Like if my daughter, I have to go pick up my daughter, like I would rather go to Texas. Like please move
Yeah,
to Texas.
that'd be so cool if you came to Texas and we could see each other in person or something. Yeah, Texas is great. I moved here 7 months ago, but
Oh
I
wow, you've only been there 7 months.
I lived in Colorado before that for like 10 years.
Oh
So,
wow.
but yeah, I made a big move last year, and boom, just started. Yep, the year in Austin is oof. Well, Texas in
Mm,
general carries an energy, and then Austin itself is a
yes.
whole other
Mm-hmm.
crazy energy. But it's so me. Like it's good and intense in the right ways for someone like me. I'm here for the
Yeah.
challenge. I'm here for the
Mm-hmm.
work. So
That's
yeah, it's a good
awesome.
space. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's exciting. Like being able to like find this version of you, in this new place and starting new, starting fresh is so like it's scary, but it's like the best thing because you're in the unknown the whole time. You're in the unknown.
it's
Everything's new.
exciting. Yeah, it is
Everything is
exciting.
just, you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know what this version of you is going to get into next and what opportunities are going to come up,
I am constantly on my toes out here in a good way. Like Austin is just and the synchronicities out here, the people you meet, the weird, there's just weird energy that I love, I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah,
about the
yeah, yeah.
weird, but you know, I didn't know how weird it was gonna be. But it's great. I love it, and I needed to expand. That's where whenever something feels like okay, I'm ready. Like then yeah. So Austin and Texas was kind of my like I'm stepping into this person, and the universe like okay, then you're gonna
Yeah,
have to go
yeah.
through some stuff, but it's been so rewarding, and I'm so happy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
awesome. Well, thank you so much again for being on the show today. I am so
thank you so
excited
much.
about, this being out there and for others to find you and I feel like we're just healing energies, we're when people watch me, watch you doing our thing and being brave, it's healing parts of them and that, they didn't know they needed.
Yeah.
And because that's how I feel when I see your videos and a lot of other creators, there's
Mhm.
parts of me I'm like, okay, I see myself in you. That could be me. I could do that. Like,
Yeah.
just yeah,
Yeah, that's what
I'm
we're
so
kind of
glad.
that's what we're all supposed to do. Like you have your unique signal that is supposed to be shared, that is supposed to inspire someone else, and I have my signal, and like that's what really creates like a lot of change and a movement, you know, is just
Mhm.
our transmission. It's our personal unique transmission that is really going to create that ripple effect. And if we get a bunch of people to do it, everyone gets out and starts sharing their truth, like we will be
Yeah.
okay. Everything's gonna be just fine, you know. So
Yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it all, and love what you're doing as well. So it's
Oh,
exciting, so exciting.
it is exciting. And this is just like really the beginning of our journey,
Oh,
really.
I know.
We're
It
still
just
young. We're still so
yeah,
young.
we are like we really are. It's cool. Like there's, and I think that's what's so fun. There's just so much more time. Like time doesn't really matter. It's just
Mhm.
as long just taking action on that signal, on that ping, like the knowing, and I'm just
Mhm.
following that. I'm learning to follow that, and I hope to inspire others to follow that too, because that's where the new world's going. It's those
Mhm.
who are listening to that signal and are able to take action on it, and inspire others to do the same. So we have so much ahead
Yeah.
of us, and I'm excited to see where your journey is going to take you. And yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just always excited.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Me too, girl. So thank you so
yes.
much.
Thank
And
you so
I
much.
am going to tell everybody about you. I'm going to
Oh,
post you and
yeah.
I
Thank
really,
you. I will
I
tell everyone about
really
you too to go watch, and I'll make a couple posts and flyers too, because I like doing that. And
yeah.
maybe we talk in the future too about like I like this conversation about fashion and expression, and like
Oh yeah,
I
yeah. I
think
feel like
I think
there
that's
is
something
something there.
you and I
Yeah,
have this kind of like I don't know, that was something big that came through for me, was like, "Ooh, okay, we could talk about some
yeah.
of that more." So yeah, but
Self-expression. I really
yeah,
actually, that is a good one that I feel like we can definitely talk longer about is self-expression, especially for women,
yes,
for sure.
going deeper into that. I think that might be a really cool alignment. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, girl. I'm so excited. All right. Well,
Aw.
you take care. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
you
staying up
too.
so late. It's so
Oh,
late over
it's
there in
good. It's
Texas.
sometimes it's normal for me. I'm such a night owl. I will stay up so late sometimes, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, it was worth it, worth every minute. So thank you.
Okay, good
I really
deal.
appreciate it. So yeah, we'll have a good night, and yeah, we'll stay in touch.
All right, sounds good. Bye, girl.
Bye.